Climbing for me is with me all the time, even when I'm not in the gym. It's on my mind 100% of the time, which is really interesting, seeing as how I didn't climb before I had my accident. And it's a testament to how powerful the community behind it and the things that my heart has connected with climbing.
Sometimes they'll say, when are you going to slow down? When are you going to stop? When are you going to not try something like this? Why? You know, to me, why would you want to stop? You have one life to live.
My name is Allie Redshaw. I currently live in Charlottesville, Virginia, with my husband and my 2 daughters, Willow and Sawyer. They are 8 and 6. They are ravenous for climbing and amazing. I have always been an adrenaline junkie, and sort of the excitement of being outside and what nature can bring to you physically. That kind of led me into the path of rock climbing. Fresh after high school, I went to culinary school to become a chef, and that professional career took me into a restaurant where I happened to lose my hand. I was using a professional piece of restaurant equipment, and the way that the doctors were able to remedy that accident was a full amputation of my right hand. I was pregnant with my 2nd daughter, so just carrying her through pregnancy was a really interesting, very empowering, but also really difficult journey. So it definitely made the path post-pregnancy interesting to figure out what that would look like. And when I was in the middle of that recovery, I had someone reach out and suggest that I attend an amputee anything adventure. And that adventure led me to a rock climbing clinic for amputees and veterans in Colorado, and I have never looked back.
Sue Ellen Henneberry, a lot of people say Sue. Parents were both PE teachers. My father was a coach. Sports was always our background, and I played everything from running, gymnastics, track and field, tennis. I loved volleyball and softball. That's what I played in high school. Then fast forward to my youngest daughter being born, and all my sports came back to bite me in my, you know what. I kind of tripped down the stairs, and I twisted, it was twisted. My ankles would roll at a dime. And I came down the stairs with her, and it scared the crap out of me because I was like, oh my God, I could have really hurt her. And so I had a surgeon say, ankle stabilization's not hard. It's like 6 months, you have to be in a cast and you can recover. I said, okay, all right, fine, we'll do it. Worked great. It was stable. It was great. Let's do the other side. It's like somebody doing knees and hips. Shit can go wrong. It does go wrong. But I ended up developing complex regional pain syndrome, or CRIPS, but back then it was called reflex sympathetic dystrophy. I went through all the steps of everything. There was no cure for it, and just fast forward, it just got worse and worse and worse. Instead, everything we did, from spinal blocks to medication to everything, just did not work. Fast forward to going to the podiatrist, and he said, you don't just have achy feet, you have a wound. And a wound, I don't know if anybody knows, it's like an upside down mountain. The bigger part of the mountain is inside your foot. You see a little nothing on the surface, and the wound is underneath. And it just steamrolled. I was already so compromised from COVID and from all the antibiotics I had taken and trying to get healthy. It just didn't work. So I just couldn't catch a break, and he asked me to go see a vascular surgeon. And at first I didn't know what that meant. And even years prior of thinking about amputating the leg, because I was so tired of trying to fix it, I didn't realize that that's what a vascular surgeon does. And so I had to choose to be amputated. And I went back, and he said, you ready? And I said, yeah. As somebody that was a sports-minded person, I was saying, and I was introduced to Sportable. And that was the hardest thing when they called me and said, well, what's your disability? I'm like, huh? Because I never really thought I'm disabled. Because even though I've gone through 20 plus years of trying to not let this get the best of me, that's how I live life. Your disability will never outweigh your ability. And I've lived that. One of the persons there said, oh, I love rock climbing. I said, rock climbing?
I brought this old school guidebook from Manchester. Probably do Bolts from Heaven first.
Okay.
Just that line that goes up the left right there.
Okay, cool.
Go left or right.
Okay.
either like snakes above, voodoo doll. Since it's winter, there might actually be a snake in the wall.
Yeah, I understand. You tell me that every time we're here, and it really
Have you seen one yet?
gives me no,
I've seen it twice.
no. It gives it. Don't tell me that, Shep. Don't tell me that.
Different Manchester wall. It's like way down there.
Right. It's actually third pillar, not first column.
I think it's better to be prepared for it though than have it spook you if you are on the wall. If you do see a snake,
Chop it with my nub.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the new blade that I've gotten, I've applied for applications and from grants and stuff like that, but I got a loaner to try that. This one I love because it's the difference between both. It's a bigger, wider surface. Still doesn't have a heel, which is great because to run with that or to rock climb, what else did I do? Rowing was great with it too because it's a blade, think of it as shepherd hook, and that's what a blade is. And so it rolls as if you would have an ankle. That bending, I can't point a toe, I can't do anything, so you get better range of motion on a rock wall, on a rowing machine or anything else. You can move forward more because you've got that better range of motion. So blade is great, but the one I have on loan now is about $4,000. So to be able to have grants out there for us or even Sportables to give us loaners because they've gotten their grants or they've gotten funding from great donations to be able to try things out beyond boundaries. I mean, it's a fortune to be able to do that on your own, but if you can try it because these organizations are out there because wonderful people have donated money to that, it's because of them I can try things out.
I wanted to go back after that first dingy gym rock climbing experience because the thought process behind people thinking that I can't. I just felt it in my bones. I felt the need to prove myself and my personal fortitude to people and to myself. That's the best part about climbing to me, is that you're not, yes, you can be a competitive climber and you can have adversaries that you're competing against, but you are competing against yourself.
From family to a job to relationships to you name it, you have to tune that out. Your focus is on that wall and figuring out where your hand's going to go, where your foot's going to go. You don't want to slip off. You want to focus on what you're doing, and that's that puzzle, and it's that mindset of being able to complete that task. Like life, if you can have your physical disability out the window and just be able to, for a little bit, have something that's so rewarding to get to for rock climbing, climb up this wall, and you did that. All by yourself you did that. You might have had encouragement from below, but you did it and you completed the task. What a great accomplishment. It's such a confidence booster in your mind and in your body.
Oh, I know I didn't like this one.
There you go. Nicely done.
No.
Nice.
I think I just screwed myself.
No, it's just a lot of feet switching here at the start.
Have you
Got it.
forgotten I'm missing one?
Nice. There you go. Very good.
You're coming back because you had such a rush of feeling mentally inspired and physically inspired that you were able to do something that you never did before your disability. You never even tried it. And now you can do this. And you know that rush of feeling, of conquering something that was challenging. You know, your muscles were fatiguing, you're slipping. For me, you slip off and you have that belayer catch you. That's trust. So to have trust in them and trust in yourself, you gain so much. It's not just about rock climbing. So you come back all the time because you want that. You need that confidence boost in yourself, or you just love the fact that you had such a great workout the next day when you woke up and you couldn't brush your hair because you couldn't lift your hands over your head. You knew it was a good workout too.
Nice.
Whoop.
Nice. Ooh, the cut feet!
Oh,
That's like advanced climbing technique.
because this is the hard part, going over
Yeah,
this.
it is. Nice. It really is. You've got it. You've got it. Trust that foot.
Sorry, I'm swearing.
No, you're okay. I often cuss when I'm climbing. Nice, Sue. You got it. Good work. Yes. That's it. Freaking
Now you gotta
boss.
Trust and
Nice.
push. Shoot.
It's a tough spot. Nice, Sue. You got it. Keep fighting it.
Whew.
Very good. I would have just done a high foot just like you did to get it.
And that's the hard part, is to push
Right,
on this and trust
on
this.
that, on trusting it, yeah.
It's that perspective of I'm a little bit closer to my goal. I'm a little bit closer to the top of that route. Or I just showed everybody in this gym that somebody with one hand can get both feet off the ground and can climb just like them. You know, I love getting on a route, and I love feeling like I succeeded at something when I make it to the top, or even if I don't. But that is not why I keep coming back to climbing. I come back to climbing because basically I've experienced a lot of turmoil and trauma through childhood and other parts of my life. And when my daughters look at me, they don't see that part of me. They don't see the scars that I feel like I wear all over the outside of me, you know, this being one of the biggest ones. They just see me as mom. They see the truest part of me that a lot of us kind of bury under other things. And I feel that when I'm on the rock. I feel the belief that they have in me. And I hear the cheers of my community and the people around me that believe in me. And they don't say, well, Allie, we're cheering for you because you only have one hand. They're like, no, we're cheering for you because you're really strong and you can do hard things.
I have 4 girls, aged 22 to 31. So this has been, raising them was a feat in itself. Sometimes they'll say, when are you going to slow down? When are you going to stop? When are you going to not try something like this? Why? You know, to me, why would you want to stop? You have one life to live. Experience what you can. You know, make the best of it. Meet people. That's the other thing that it gives you. And so I think my girls are starting to realize that. And every one of them has always told me, Mom, you know, we get my strength from you. And because I've always, again, I've had disability or injury after injury and had to push through a lot of things, and you have to keep moving forward, and you have 2 choices: put the covers over your head or move forward and figure out how you're gonna enjoy life, or how you're gonna be able to be part of it. And I want to be part of it. I want to experience it. Rock climbing has given me a new sense on mind, because again, you have to tune everything else out. You have to rely on yourself and your belayer, but you're looking at that piece of the puzzle. Yes, you follow the pink route or the purple route, but you're still trying to figure out that puzzle. How are you going to make that work? And that's cognitive, and I'm lacking cognitive, or what my cognitive ability was. And so this, I have to say, it's really been helping. Now it's just about taking that step and being able to keep going forward.
Now bring that right hand up to the volcano right at your noggin.
My right hand to this.
Your other hand. Bring your right hand up to that volcano. Got it.
And what is this one holding on to?
It's gonna go far, but
It's a great question.
Bump it up one.
Where's the right hand going?
Right hand to the ball.
Right hand to the volcano.
Oh,
And then
shit.
once you have that balance, yes.
Almost.
You
I'm on
got
the wall.
it. So close.
Community to me is not necessarily a resource that draws you in based on your ability, but moreover, a well of humans that are willing to meet you exactly where you are and see your potential. It is the ability to pull people out of a situation that can be hard, that can be easy to sort of turn cheek or kind of bury your head and say, wow, those things don't happen in the world, but they do, and community is what gives people that fresh breath of life. It's hard to be brave and it's easy to lose your courage, but the community is what is the draw. It's the incentive. It's the looking people in the eye and feeling that they're seeing you and knowing that they're going to support you no matter what the outcome is. And that brings you back to wanting to keep trying, to wanting to better yourself, and to wanting to grow the community so that you can then pay it forward and give that back to somebody else.
This is the hardest part about not having hands, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's because I know it's feasible, I just don't know how.
I vibrate all the time on high frequency because of climbing, because of all of the goodness that it has brought into my world. And that far supersedes the harness and the chalk and the rock.
Sometimes it'll take that little bit of a bump if it is like a really big pull.
I can do anything, believe it or not. I make it look easy when I'm taking the shot. Precision is critical, breathing and let it go. Break through the physical, this is the pinnacle. We going over the top.
And I'm as passionate as I am about supporting organizations like Beyond Boundaries, because that is that etched out community in the gym, right? Where every Tuesday night, adaptive rock climbing, and yes, you walk into Peak Experiences and it's a very intimidating, massive gym where there's a lot of skilled climbers. But you walk in and immediately you see people with a name tag on, with a smile, who know your name, who are ready to recognize you for your abilities as a climber. Not, oh, I feel sorry for you because you have to use the wheelchair, ramp to lower yourself down, or, it's just like, hey, you're here to climb. Let's get your shoes on, let's get your harness on, let's climb. And I am so ready and stoked on creating that experience for other people because I wish that I had had that experience.
Right about face level, there's a little crimp. Yep, right there. You've got a good foot at about like your waist level as well. Straight in front of you and out to your left.
That first step, it's scary, but it's so worth it. And I really haven't met another disabled athlete, whether it be somebody that just wants to go out and play golf, or fly fishing, something like that, or run a marathon like I've never been able to do and just completed. It's that first step. You just gotta try.
There you go. Nice. Good job. You got it, Allie. Right above your head, there's a really good hold. Yep, that block right there.
As somebody that's for 20 years battled this foot, so who I was going through all of that beforehand to where I am now, somebody just ripped that layer of clothing off or ripped that armor off. Because for so long when I was disabled back then too, on crutches for almost 10 years trying to raise children, you put this armor on and you pretended that it didn't really exist. You didn't talk about your feelings. And I felt that person was so scared to do anything on her own. I finally had a doctor say, yeah, enough is enough. Let's take the leg after all these years of not, and be able to have a new lease on life. And I can have a great new life with new challenges and new adventures. I can make mistakes again, and I'm going to, but to know how to deal with them better. And I didn't know how to deal with them then, and I do now, and it seems like you've taken this blanket off of me from before to now. And I really like who I am now. I do.
I was in a valley of just loss. I felt like everything was a loss, and I wasn't really sure how to pick up the pieces and move forward. And I felt like I had really been slighted. I felt like everything was unfair, and I didn't really understand. I was very angry. And now I feel like that was exactly where I was supposed to be so that I could rebuild. And I could, I really leaned into my faith. I've always been a very spiritual person. but it was moments of silence, and it was really hard. But I needed that because I needed to hear all the things, I needed them to surface, and then I needed to persevere. And every day that I woke up and I felt more ready to stand up and to persevere and to do hard things, the more I felt like, okay, you're coming back to life. Like, this is this is you. And that felt good to kind of come home.
Good job. Hey, good job. I'm gonna push through. That was solid.